Morning. Blessings for your Sunday. It's about 10:30 here. I'm gonna go out and work in the garden and work on a lesson plan. I don't know which one to do first. I kind of want to go out in the garden. And eventually I can do some meditations and some oh, I didn't put Reiki healing in. We'll do a little Reiki healing too. I posted right what I was going to do, but I should do some Reiki healing too. Actually, you know what? Let's clear the air and start out with Reiki. That's actually a good idea. So yeah, what is the title of my? See, I always tape it, photograph it now, so I remember what I'm doing here. Let's see, where is it? It's on my phone here. This is such a beautiful day. I really have to say, it's such a beautiful day. I had a miracle happen yesterday. Oh, call to meditation, okay? Crystal news, sunlight blast, and meditation. All right, so let's start with the crystal news. The crystal news is these are terminated, right? And you can use them for massage because it doesn't have a sharp tip. It has a very nice soft tip. You know, it still gets in there. But they're really good for massaging and working on pain around your knees. So you can kind of probe around there with the knees, you know, and you can also use these for the shoulder, right? You can probe around there into the muscles. I mean, you can either use this one, this point here. So sometimes you might want to, if it's really stuck, you want to use the probing and the soft rounder edge. You want to just, make sure you loosen up the muscles. Because I was working in my garden yesterday. So this is a good way to, after you do some like 3 hours of gardening or whatever you do physical, it's a good idea to loosen up your muscles. Just to kind of check them out, make sure you didn't overdo it. I have a tendency to overdo it in the garden. I've been teaching myself to take more breaks. So it's high in iron. So and you can use two of them on both sides of your knees. Like a ruby, see? So get granite with like a ruby mix in there. It's high in iron. The other thing I wanted to show you, and this one I know I've showed before, but I'm going to show it again. It's one of my favorite. I've been really holding on to it recently. I'm going to take a breath here. Let's do some Reiki. Everybody needs to come in balance. Oh, there's so many imbalances right now. Psychologically, emotionally, a lot of people are in their survival mode, right? Emotional mode. We have to use our executive functioning skills. And how do we do that? We align it with the Creator, right? And we align it with Reiki. Reiki is a tool for healing on the planet. We have a lot of devices, a lot of tools for healing. We have to really open ourselves to the higher ones. I tell you, I've been taking a lot of products because of my arthritis, right? I've been suffering for about 3 years, but I have to tell you, I do 12 products twice a day and a couple at night. It's made a difference. I was actually able to work in my garden for about 3 hours yesterday, kneeling down on my little kneeling pad, and had no pain in my knees or in my left hip. So praise the Lord. That's a healing. So this crystal, this beautiful, beautiful aquamarine crystal, it's a stone of courage and expansion, expression, expansion. It is used to open the throat chakra, right here, right? Should get a necklace and put it around the throat chakra, huh? That'd be kind of awesome. It allows us to speak what needs to be said. I had to do that with my oldest son yesterday. It was very challenging. Very, very challenging. Aquamarine is a stone of flow and connection to water. A lot of water flooding right now. It's changing the matrix of the land. It brings calm and peace to those who use it. So you use it, you have to put it in your hands, right? I mean, you could make a necklace out of this and wear it. It'd have to be kind of wrapped with copper or something, but it would make a beautiful stone around the throat chakra. So, so that one, this is a crystal you may want to look up online and get yourself one, right? Helps to open to change. Because, change is difficult. I have a friend right now, she's going through a move, my beautiful friend Terry. She's going to have to be moving from a space she's lived in for probably longer than I lived in this one space. The longest time I lived in a space on Lincoln Avenue was around 29 years. And then my neighbors next door had some kind of fire. Of course, in a tarot card, I got the tower. I videotaped it. Actually, I should upload my videotape once I learn how to connect all the pieces together. I'm going to be learning how to do that. I'm going to be learning how to edit. So my friend is going to come and help me out with that because I don't know how to edit. Actually, I was in a filmmaking class because that's one of my hobbies. And I also was a filmmaking class at Facets Multimedia, and I got to be a director of a movie. There were two directors, right? Nobody wanted to be the director. I said, I'll be the director. I would love to direct a movie. And then I picked the best editor because I didn't know how to edit. I knew my weakness. But now my friend, because I want to do some videos with you guys out in the garden, and I feel like I can't do it because I would have to use my phone, and then they always want to charge me more money on my phone, which I don't want to do. So she's going to show me how to use a GoPro camera, and then I'll be able to hook it up to one of those little thingies, and then I'll be able to put it on a tripod outside. But anyway, that's a whole story in itself, and I'm glad I shared it with you because I do want to do some videos spontaneously from the garden. But the easiest way to do that is put it on a tripod, my Golo camera, which I don't know how to use. I know it's got one of those like little chips inside that you record on. But then you have to take that and upload it somehow, and I don't know if I upload it in a file. So I have to figure all that out. But we're here today with this beautiful aquamarine crystal, and it helps us to open to change. So we're all going through changes, either relationship changes, moving changes, people are leaving in our family, but people are also coming into our family. People are also coming into our family. So I don't know if you've been following the Idaho 4, but I've been following the Idaho 4. And I really believe that Kaylee's sister's baby is her incarnation. And why do I believe that? Because there's evidence. There's evidence. Kaylee left her body supposedly, per the coroner, at the same time the baby was born. I think that's very synergistic. And I said, well, that's what I believe. I mean, I have my opinion. It seems like it's based on a fact. There was another connection, too. I forgot the other connection, though. So the baby came in at the same time she expired and took her last breath. Because a lot of times in reincarnation, the souls will come in and reincarnate into the family because they want to stay connected to that family, especially if it was a good family. If it was a bad family, I think it would be sayonara baby, unless you're trying to work out some karma. All right, so let's take a breath. So, aquamarine helps to open to change by aligning our spirits to the actions that we take. Also aligns actions with the higher heart, where the soul's wisdom resides. So you want to become wiser and more compassionate, get yourself an aquamarine. So this is your time to get yourself a crystal. I mean, you could get another crystal if you would like. Anything that your heart desires right now, and then we're going to do the meditation. Sunlight blast. Okay, so we did the crystal news. So let me just do the communication about the sunlight blast, okay? So get yourself your favorite crystal to meditate with. All right, there's a lot of sparks of energy leaving the sun's rays, right? And it's hitting the earth greatly. And, you know, we have the most fires right now on the planet that we've ever had in our, I think, in forever. I mean, you can check that out. I might be wrong. But there's over 1,000 fires going on right now around our world. So what does that mean? The planet is very angry. Also, the sun's rays are blasting us, our own DNA. And, you know, the DNA is not something static. It's not something that's not going to change. The DNA changes. You know, we might be channeling Ishtar today, so let me just get a grounding rock. It's African. Isn't that beautiful? It's an African stone. It's very, very grounding. So the meditation is going to be about healing the earth, you know, calming it down. It's angry right now. We have all these fires. We don't want all these fires, do we? I mean, come on. We don't want all these fires, man. You know, on one hand, the fires can transform, like the phoenix, right? So let's put the meditation like this. You know, let the fires be where they need to be. But if there's certain areas where they're like really just frantically out of control because the earth is angry, then we need to balance that. We need to balance that. We can balance that. We have dominion over the elements. What are the elements, guys? It says so in all the sacred books. We have dominion over the elements, the fire, the air, the water, the air, the ethers. How do we do that? We plant things. I drive by this house that I sold a long, long time ago when I was in my 30s. I was given the responsibility of all this real estate. It was overwhelming at the time. I remember I was pregnant and I was laying carpet on New Year's Eve. Or painting the floor, staining the floor, which I never should have been doing. It was insane. But anyway, we get stewardship, we get dominion over things in our life, right? So we have to do that with grace. So we need to start planting. And I go buy that real estate that I sold a long time ago, and I see still the tree that I planted, and it's huge. And I feel so good knowing that I planted that tree. So yeah, we need to plant things in our life. If you're not happy with your life, you need to change it. There's a very strong energies going on this week. Super, super strong. We have a lot of outlying planets that are retrograde. They're retrograde. So when they're retrograde, the energy is 10 times more intense. So I'm taking all these products and I'm trying to exercise a little extra with my legs, right, with my hips. And I was able to work in my garden and kneel down on my kneeling pad for about over 3 hours. And I had my grandkids. It was a magical day. It was such a magical day. And I showed them how to, you know, cut off the echinacea, the dried echinacea. They have to wear their little gloves and they have to have the tools. And they actually, and putting them in, so because I want to save the heads of the echinacea, and then you can plant it all over your garden. But you just throw it out in the garden, and by next winter it'll be there because they're like wildflowers. You know, and then the birds will pick them apart and they'll poop them everywhere. So, yeah, so the echinacea head. So I want to have a camera I can go and show you how to do that outside. And I'm not set up for that right now, but they help me a lot. And I was able to kneel without being in pain between my knee and my left hip for over 3 hours. So this is our time to count our blessings. You know, I want to see if I can receive Ishtar too. You know, he's one of the star galactic beings, right? So get your crystal. Let me see if I'm following my schedule. I have to look at what I took a picture of. Make sure you go outside and get the vitamin D today. Sunlight blast. And then we'll do our meditation. Yeah, so the sunlight blast, okay? So listen to this very carefully. If you need to run to the bathroom, I'll wait a few minutes. The sunlight blast. There's also some other type of formation that's heading towards our planet that might have a great gravitational shift. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to look it up yet. I think it's either an asteroid. Yeah, kind of. It could be an asteroid or a meteor. All right, we're going into meditation. Ashtar is here. You know, I told you guys I met Ashtar when I was like a tiny kid. I was like 3, 4, or 5. I was like really little. And it freaked me out. Because he was doing an acupuncture needle below my navel. And it freaked me out. I didn't know it was an acupuncture needle. I just saw it as a needle. But he was telling me my future career was going to be that of an acupuncturist. And he was also telling me that it was a healing technique. So let's see. I'm going to reach out to Ashtar right now. And we're going to, well, let's just breathe and be in our moment. We breathe in through our nose and out through our hara, out through your navel, okay? All right, let's start there. And like I said, your body's going to move the way it wants to move. Let it align with your source. Opening up the lower chakras. You know, you could tap the top of your head. You could tap your third eye. Just to activate, right? I mean, it's a little boost, right, to activation. You don't have to do it, okay? All right, so here we go. Let's see if we get some message. Divine messages come in from Ashtar. You know, Ashtar is one of the intergalactic commands. That means this gets into ETs, right? They like to be called ETs. They don't like to be called aliens. You remember that song? I think it was by The Door, The Crystal Ships. I should put that on my website. But the crystal ship is like intergalactic. It's interdimensional. I think it was sung by the Doors. So feel like you're in a crystal ship right now. You're in your matrix. You have crystal energy all around your body. You have a matrix of energy. Allow it to change. Allow it to flow. Allow it to connect with your divine self. I speak to you about the goodness of man. Align with the goodness of man. Kind. Get in your crystal ship. Align your orbit. Spend time in nature. Send love to the ethers. Send love to the earth, to the fire, everything that makes up our beautiful divine planet, the animals, to gardens. Plant a garden. If you don't have an area, get out of that area. Go where you can plant a garden. I'm really focusing on Northwest Illinois. And I want to move there. I want to relocate there. So I have to call on all the angels to help and guide me. So call on your angels. Call on Michael, call on Uriel, call on all the angels, Raphael, to help you. Call on your special guides. Everyone has a special guide. I really believe everyone has an angel. Call on hope. Call on sacredness. Burn some incense. Santo Palo. Burn other incense, but be outside in nature. The energy is coming really strongly through now, so let's get ready to really be in our center strongly. It's going to be going into your heart of hearts. So you'll feel it in your heart. It's kind of a green energy. And then it's going to go up to your third eye and connect with your higher self, okay? So that's what we're doing right now. I'll repeat it. We're going to be in our sacred heart, our physical heart, our sacred heart of green energy. We're going to let it pass through our throat chakra. Let it go up into our divine third eye and up to the top of the head where we make a connection. We make our connection. And allow your body to move the way it feels like it needs to move. You might even just find one foot vibrating. So allow it to do that because you're also getting a healing. All right, here we go. Now you can breathe in and out through your nose and your mouth, but you may find that you come to a space where you don't breathe at all, and that's okay. It's called a quiet space. It's called a center. You might come to a space where you don't breathe at all. So we call on all our angels and our guides to help bless our planet, calm down the fires of the earth, calm down the flooding, even though there will be flooding. This is the time, I've said that before many times, to move to higher ground. Things are happening in a blink of an eye. Listen to your intuition. You know, it's very challenging to move somewhere. I'm not saying it's easy. But when you align yourself with the divine, it's a piece of cake. Everything for you will be provided. So stay in alignment. Stay in your center. Okay, my lovies, have a wonderful day. Welcome back to the third dimension. So that was a little fifth dimension, right? That was fun. I don't know what happened to my hair. I just cut it yesterday. I don't even go to get my hair cut. I just cut it myself now. My mother left me these beautiful scissors, and it cuts the hair so easily. So much of these new tools that are made now are not as good as the old ones, you know. All right, so yes, I do want to bless you for your day. Thanks for sharing the space and time. And there's a little fly in here. And I'll see you along the way, okay? Stay in the light.